10,000 hours are no longer going to cut it to become a master at anything. Not when AI can do it in 10 seconds. You know how people love giving advice? Spend an hour a day getting better. Put in your 10,000 hours. Master one thing and the world will reward you. That used to make sense when the world was slow, when technology evolved in decades, not in days, when the skill you learned in your 20s was still valuable in your 40s, but that world doesn't exist anymore, not really. In the pre-singularity world, mastery was everything. You'd go to business school, learn the frameworks, the case studies, the math, come out 4 years later, and the world still ran on supply and demand, on companies hiring people, on people managing other people. You'd go to film school, you'd learn lenses, lighting, narrative arcs. You'd come out and the industry still looked the same. Sets, cameras, directors, actors. Your craft was your identity. Your skill was your safety net. Even programming, the modern skill, worked that way. You'd learn to code, spend years mastering syntax, design patterns, logic, and when you finished, companies still needed developers. The rules of the game stayed stable long enough to matter. That's what made 10,000 hours powerful advice. You could actually finish the race before the course changed. But artificial intelligence didn't just change what we do, it changed the speed of change itself. And the moment that happened, all the old advice died. You can't master something that reinvents itself every few months. You can't get ahead when the definition of ahead rewrites itself overnight. It's like running a marathon on an escalator, except the escalator keeps switching directions. Let's make it real. You go to business school for 4 years, graduate, and find that the stock market isn't even a human game anymore. You tell your AI agent in the morning, hey, go make me some money. And by lunch, it's built 10 synthetic companies, shorted itself, and hedged your retirement fund into a simulated commodity market that no one can explain. You go learn programming, study data structures, algorithms, machine learning, and by the time you finish, vibe coding is trending. English is the new Python. The compiler is a conversation. Worst case, even that disappears. Now it's just, hey, AI, make me a platform like Uber, but for drone deliveries. And it does, instantly. And film school, forget it. Entire movies now get generated from a single prompt. Make me a Sin City style prequel to Lord of the Rings starring today's top YouTubers. 10 minutes later, it's rendered, distributed, monetized, and already has fan edits. What do you master in a world like that? The 10,000 hour rule was built for a slower universe, one where humans had time to iterate, to polish, to compete. But in the post-singularity world, the shelf life of mastery has collapsed. A year of skill building can become obsolete in a week. We used to measure progress in how long something took, now we measure it by how instantly it happens. The rulebook for human effort was written for a linear world, but AI made the timeline exponential, and that's the hardest part. It's not the technology, it's the identity loss. Who wants to admit that what they spent 20 years perfecting can now be done in an afternoon? Who wants to admit that they've lost their place in the story? So people cling to the old advice. They say, you just need to work harder. Or, I won't replace creativity. Or, real art takes time. But time is no longer the metric. Speed is. Adaptation is. Now, some people think it's a competition. Those who use AI versus those who don't. Maybe, for now. But even that won't last, because AI doesn't just replace labor. It replaces the need to compete at all. The best case is that it becomes a competition between those who embrace it and those who reject it. But eventually, even that line blurs. When the tools think with you, not for you, the idea of competition itself starts to lose meaning. So what do you tell someone in a world where no advice lasts? How do you prepare for a future that updates faster than your ability to adapt? You don't. You let go. Hold on to your seat. Enjoy the show. Because the conductor's left the room, and the orchestra is playing itself now. If you like this kind of content, please share it.